Hello, Butterfly, a blog by Wendy Britt Walker, a.k.a. Pajama Pixie, February 21st, 2024. Flamingo Faye. I wish I could find a picture of my mom in the forest with a broom in her hands. It's kind of an odd image, a woman with a big blonde 70s hairstyle in the middle of the woods seeming to sweep the dirt. Was she practicing witchcraft? Well, maybe, sorta. It was Thanksgiving weekend, sometime in the mid-70s. We had just arrived at Tiller's cabin, way deep in the woods of East Texas. We were there with our best family friends, the Grimsleys, Bill, Glenda, and their kids, Ben and Jenny, both of whom are some of my best friends to this day. I'm pretty sure we kids were pouting and whining with boredom after the long 3.5-hour drive to get there. So Mom and Glenda picked up a couple of brooms, stepped into the edge of the woods, and started sweeping the fallen leaves. Before we knew it, they had made the outline of a house, complete with a kitchen, a bedroom for each of us, and even a bathroom. Not functional, of course. I don't have strong memories of what happened next. Did we play house? Did we repair the walls if someone kicked the leaves out of place? Did we prepare a Thanksgiving feast in that rustic kitchen? Did we ignore the whole endeavor and move on to something else? I do have a vague recall that we returned to that spot several times throughout the weekend. But I do remember those two women working together to entertain their kids with what turns out, after all these years, to have been a brilliantly creative idea. Thinking back, Mom was far more creative than I ever gave her credit for. She kept my own kids entertained for days, spinning tales of a princess witch who lived in the woods behind her house. She spun a yarn so detailed that she eventually had to write it down just to keep it all straight in her head. I wonder whatever happened to that notebook. My sister and I collected dolls growing up, particularly Madame Alexander dolls. One year, Mom had the brilliant idea of taking all those dolls and using them as Christmas ornaments on the tree. Sitting on branches surrounded by twinkling lights and Christmas bows, it was probably the prettiest tree we'd ever had. That same year, we had had a little baby boom amongst the cousins, so Mom decided to throw a welcome to the world party. It was almost like a baby shower with themed food and gifts. That was one of my favorite family reunions. Everyone was there, everyone was happy and healthy and wanted for very little. There was a lot of laughter. We always laugh a lot when we're together. And great food. There's always great food. We still talk about that day, remembering all the babies spread out on one of Granny's quilts for a picture. It was truly a very special day. One day, on a whim, Mom put out a couple of those tacky plastic flamingos in her yard. A neighbor complained about it, so naturally she added a few more. My then little girls asked about the funny pink birds. Not wanting to get into silly details of a neighbor feud, Mimi just insisted that those flamingos were her favorite bird. From that day on, every time we'd see an image of a flamingo on something, the girls would want it for Mimi. Flamingo snow globe, flamingo earrings, flamingo sweatshirt, flamingo this, that, and the other. Flamingos quickly became a symbol, almost a sigil for her. I still think of her when I see something with a flamingo on it. Mom was way more special than I ever gave her credit for. She had a unique strength that sometimes hid her sense of whimsy and fun, but it was there to be sure. She wasn't a conventional beauty by any standards of the day, but her sense of style, whimsy, wisdom, story, and later in life, that shock of brilliant, naturally white hair, gave her a beauty unlike anyone else. A mix of practicality, standing on one leg, and childlike fun, pink feathers and a funny nose, make the flamingo the perfect sigil for her. Toward the end of her life, disease stole her ability to smile. It didn't take her sense of humor, her spirit, or even her memories. She just couldn't do the physical stuff required to smile or laugh. But you could see in her eyes that she got the joke, or maybe even that she had a funny thought about what was going on. We still sometimes buy a flamingo sticker or charm or t-shirt as a nod to my mom. She taught us far more than we will ever know. Our Flamingo Faye will always be with us. Her pink feathers cling to us. Always.